welcome to Baking What I Really Love. If you're new around here, my name's Katie, and guys, I am super excited for today's video because this is a dessert idea that I've had floating around in my head for a long time. So what I have been thinking of is a dessert that is inspired by one of my favorite smoothies, a smoothie that I used to get called a Morning Glory smoothie. And it was mixed berries, yogurt, a little bit of honey, and a handful of almond granola. And I was trying to make this into a cake for a while and it just wasn't working out. I was like doing berry flavored cakes and it just wasn't smoothie enough. So then I thought fruit tart, that would be good. So today we're gonna make this berry tart with a granola crust. And I may have already eaten like a quarter of this tart, so gotta do quality control, you know? Alright, so first off for the crust, I'm gonna run the dry ingredients through my food processor. So I'm starting with the almonds and flour first and pulsing enough to get the almonds chopped up pretty finely. Then I'll add in the oats and pulse just a few more times. You don't want to grind the oats too much because leaving them bigger is going to give the crust a bit of chewiness, and that makes it, I think, more granola-y, if that's a word. So that's why I waited to put them in until a little bit later. Then in your mixer, beat the butter and sugar together until it's smooth and creamy. And then you can go ahead and start adding in the dry ingredients. You can do that in 2 additions and just make sure to scrape down your bowl partway through. You want to mix this just until everything comes together, and then you can use a spatula to scrape the bowl and sort of knead the dough a bit. Some of the dry ingredients will probably be not quite mixed in. Then I'm going to press the dough into a 9-inch tart pan with a removable bottom. And I did grease this pan first and line the bottom with a little bit of parchment paper beforehand. And I think the easiest way to do this is just to lay down a piece of plastic wrap and then use your fingers and also maybe the bottom of a cup to help spread the dough out and get it nice and even. Make sure you really press into the corners and the sides, that way you'll get a nice clean pattern along the outside of the crust. And then another tip, do try to keep the sides thinner. If you make them too thick, they tend to sort of sink down under their own weight while the crust is baking. Once you have the crust all pressed out, transfer it to the fridge and let it chill for about an hour. Then, right before you're ready to bake, prick the crust all over with a fork. This will prevent the crust from puffing up as it bakes. Don't forget to do the sides. And bake the crust at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 18 minutes until it looks nice and golden brown. You'll want to let the crust cool completely before you add the filling. And speaking of filling, the magic ingredient for this berry smoothie filling is freeze-dried berries. These are such a great way to flavor things when you don't want to add any liquid. I'm grinding them up in my coffee grinder just because it's a little bit easier with such a small amount. I used a mix of strawberries and blueberries, but you could really use any mix of fruits that you like. Just make sure you sift out any larger chunks and seeds. Then the base of the filling is Greek yogurt and heavy cream. So I'm gonna whip those together, and while it's whipping, drizzle in a little bit of honey. You can adjust the amount of honey depending on how sweet you want the filling to be. And you want to whip this until it's thick and it can hold its shape, but don't let it get too stiff because the freeze-dried berry powder is going to thicken it up quite a bit. So finally mix that berry powder in, and once it's mixed in, you can use a spatula, scrape down the bowl, and make sure everything is evenly incorporated. Then I'm just going to transfer all the filling to a large piping bag, and I have it fitted with a star tip. It's a Wilton 4B. You could pipe this in any pattern you like. I just decided to go with stars because they're easy to keep nice and even. And last but not least, something really pretty for a garnish. I've been so excited to use these little violets on a dessert. They just started really blooming for me over the past week or so, and they went so well with this purple filling. It just made me really happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked this tart, I know it's a little bit different than my normal cake videos, leave a comment and let me know what other kinds of stuff you'd like to see. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. That way you won't miss out on any future videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is so good. It's like eating a smoothie on a cookie, but like not too cookie-ish or too smoothie-ish. Okay, just one more slice, but it's like a skinny slice, so it doesn't count.